Hey everybody. So, in my typical ranting style, so I lost my shit at Walgreens today. The line was 6 or 7 deep of folks there to pick up prescriptions and what have you. And there was a staff of probably 5 working back there, running the drive-thru and 2 counters. And the man who was in line in front of me was there, an older white gentleman, was there to pick up his colonoscopy prep for his colonoscopy that is taking place on October 1st. Today is September 24th. When the young man behind the counter, who was a person of color, and the young lady, who was just simply young, were trying to find the prescription in the system, they learned that just this morning, this man's doctor's office had canceled his prescription. Now, there was some backstory about earlier this week they were out of it and they were expecting it to come in on today's truck. And so the pharmacy staff had no idea why the doctor's office had canceled the prescription. However, they could not distribute the medication without a prescription. So they're explaining this to this man very tactfully and as pleasantly as possible. Sir, we don't know why it was canceled. It was canceled at, 12:22 p.m. and the woman's name was Bridget. We suggest that you call your doctor's office to find out why they canceled your prescription or to ask them to issue a new prescription. But we cannot do this for you. And he proceeds to start arguing with them and being really disrespectful. At one point, when the young man said, "Sir, it was your doctor's office that canceled the prescription," and the man said, "Prove it." Really, just awful, awful. So he continues on for a couple of minutes, and I'm doing my thing, and he was wrapping up with them, and I said to him, you owe them an apology. And he said, "What did you say?" And let me just tell you, I've had enough. I've had enough. And so in front of all 15 people standing around, I said that you owe them an apology because you are rude. And then I said, it is not their fault that your prescription got canceled. They can't fix your problem. You don't need to be rude to them. And he said, "You don't know any of the facts." And I said, I don't need to know the facts to know that you're rude. And I just walked away. And it took a couple minutes to finish my other stuff in the store. And shit you not, as I'm leaving the store, he's at the front of the store yelling at the manager and another guy from the pharmacy still complaining about how his prescription got canceled. And they're saying, "Well, we suggest that you call your doctor's office." Listen, I'm not going to stand for disrespect and hatefulness for no reason. And I'm not going to stand there and pretend like it's not happening. And I'm going to stand up for people who are being mistreated. So prepare yourselves. It seems like there's plenty of that going around. And evidently, I've lost my filter. Have a great night, everybody. Be kind. The scripture goes, and the greatest of these is love. Just say it. Have a good night.